How are you doing, guys? Big Mate Dan Skull here again today. Oh, better move that answer. Back once again with another live video for you. Hopefully this is going to go nice and smoothly with my new streaming setup. Ooh, what's that noise there? I should turn that off, shouldn't I? Oh, it's just the bin reminder, which I get every week, and I always forget to turn it off. Let's change them the lights. There we go. So, right, we have lots of people joining us already. Well, I say lots. We've got like 4 in the chat going off, and one of them's me. So we've got Rivets and Dakar in the chat. We've got Alex in the chat. We've got Void Captain Bazooka in the chat. If you're joining us, don't forget to just drop a message into the chat. Let us know what you're working on. If you're working on something, just say hi. If you just want to say hi, that's absolutely fine and up to you. I'll leave it entirely up to you. I'm thinking I might want another light on here, you know, because it's a little dark. So, can you hear me okay? Because I've moved my mic into a different position now. I'm guessing you can. Looking swish, thank you very much. Rivets, thank you very much. Yeah, so, all the usual suspects once again joining us. Where is my plug? I'm looking for a plug for this this light I have set. The light is actually attached to a fruit basket. And when I take the fruit out and forget to take the light off of it, it just falls off and lands on my computer and stuff. So that's always good. But yeah, I don't know where this plug's gone. It must run under here. Alright, it's sat on top there, that's cool. Let me plug that in, and then we'll have a bit more light. Mas luz for the Spanish in the chat. Grawley's Lair joining us. Hey up, lad, how you doing, mate? At up. Ah, bugger, hey up. Right, yeah, that autocorrect's a bit of a beggar, innit? What we doing here? There we go, we've got a bit more light. You can see that shirt a little better. Have you seen my strategically placed shelf stood on its end there, just on the table behind me? That's to hide the mess behind it. But yeah, I've been messing around. Like I've had a couple of days off, and I've been messing around with my setup of this room. So I've been tidying it up. That's the main aim of the game. So my desk's a bit tidier now. I'm gonna show you a bit of desk down footage in a minute, and you can see what I'm working on and see me talking, hopefully, if all goes to plan, as long as this desk down setup works entirely. Is that still there? Let's go back on that. Right, well, everyone's chatting on that as well. That's excellent, isn't it? So, new background, yeah, new background, that's right, Alex. We have a new background. We have. I'm just trying to up my game a little bit, make it look a little bit more like I know what I'm doing, even if I don't. And I've got, you'll notice as well on the screen, I've got the chat coming up on the screen. So if someone's watching this back, they can see people chatting away to each other and see people answering my questions before I've realised they've answered them, of course, which normally happens when I say things like, "Ooh, how much is a boys' kit?" Cue the answer coming up in the chat, just in no time at all. That's a funky bright shirt, dude. Let me get my sunnies. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things, one of the themes of this hobby hangout that I like to do. I like to wear a nice snazzy shirt whenever I can. This one was bought for me. Oh no, I bought this one myself before I decided to make it a Patreon pledge level. If you did want to support the channel on Patreon, there's 3 pledge levels. I think one's a $1 level, one's a $5 level, and one's a $12 level. And if you donate to the $12 level 2 months in a row, you get to sponsor a shirt, or possibly 2. Marcos Castellanos, who hasn't yet joined us in the chat, he has sponsored 2 shirts because I managed to get to Primark and get some shirts for well cheap. So I managed to get 2 shirts with the money he's donated to the channel. And anything else is going to go back into the channel. I've just ordered, I did my first ever cash out of my AdSense in the past couple of days, and I've ordered a webcam which should hopefully arrive hopefully in time for next week's stream, but if not, you know, I'll just have to use my phone again. But you'll notice when I switch that phone desk down cam on, it's a little bit laggy. It's not perfect, but it'll do for the time being until I get that second webcam. Oh no, that's not quite gone to plan. That's proper stuck on there. Right, let's get that out of the way. I've been working on a base for my Gnawzilla, which is what I'm going to be working on tonight. Not the base, the Gnawzilla. But yeah, I've been working on a bit of a base. I'll try and explain the base to you in a bit, I think. Oh yeah, I forgot his leg's not attached. I'll try and explain the base to you in a bit, but for the time being, you can take a look at the Gnawzilla's back or something. Take his head off as well, so I don't want that falling off midstream. I've just attached it with blue tack, so there we go. That'll do for the time being. Let's get rid of that background, shall we? See if we can just have the old feed from the phone coming up there. Boom! Look at that, amazing. Fingers crossed that's come up on the stream and everything. You'll notice I'm waving my hand here, and it's still under here, like they could be there at the same time. It's my left hand, so it is slightly out of sync. It's not massively out of sync. Let's see, right? I'll wave my hand under it and then I'll count the number of seconds, how late behind it is. So, 1, 2. It's only 2 seconds behind. That's not that bad. I've had it worse in the past. So it's not a bad alternative until I can get my old. Should I zoom right in on this? I think I might. You know, that's quite not a bad feed at all. That. Let's see what happens when we do that. Rivets and Daka, my gosh, thank you so much. That's my first ever super chat. Get you sent another shirt, bro. I'll be sure to do that with that fantastic £20 donation. I might even be able to get 2 with that if I go to Primark. But maybe I'll start looking on the internet for a proper snazzy shirt. I've also, one of the things I've done with changing my setup is the old... I've put a rug down on the floor, hoping that it'll dampen some of the sound, so I won't get too much echo and stuff. I was going to order some sound dampening foam, however, I didn't do that. So I thought that could be something someone buys me for Christmas. But thanks so much, Rivets and Daka. Yes, it's coming up on the screen, it's working and everything. So hopefully that'll come up in the top bar as well. But we'll see. Oh, the stream's just gone off on my computer. It's back up now though, that's good. Right, yeah, absolutely amazing. My first ever live donation. I'm so excited to finally see that in action. The super chat. It's my first ever one, like I said, so really excited. Really, thank you so much for that. It'll go towards another shirt, and then that'll enable me to put money from Patreon into other things as well. So fantastic stuff. Thank you. Great. What a way to start the stream. That's put me in such a good mood now. Unbelievable. Yeah, so you can see I've not done any more work on this since last week. Not really, anyway. Have I done any more work on it? I don't think so. But one thing I noticed when I took some pictures of it, that's the thing with pictures. Underdog Painting joining us in the chat. Welcome, mate. Get your wallet out, mate, because Rivets and Daka has just dropped 20 quid on me to get me a new shirt. So you get your wallet out. You've got to impress everyone now. You've just arrived as well, right after he's donated that. Yeah, so thanks so much for that, Rivets, again. But one thing I noticed on, I took some pictures and posted them on Instagram. One thing I noticed is this little panel here. I've missed that. Try to see where the camera is there. Be about there. Yeah. So I'm trying to get this to the middle of the screen there. Yeah. So that's about there. You can see anyway. So there is just another little another panel that I've missed basically. So I need to go over that, and then I'll start dry brushing some of the skin. I want to give him a slightly more orange look to the skin. You can see that lovely fleshy belly again. I'm good, cheers, Bazza, mate. Welcome, Frost and Fists as well. Yeah, I do love looking at his flashy belly. One thing I've noticed though, this bit here, that's off screen. I'm just because it's my camera phone. It's my camera phone because it's my smartphone. I have to get into a really specific position for where the cameras are. So this little dot here, it keeps showing through. I don't know if that's a bit of resin that I've not scrubbed. I don't think so. I think it's just I tried to cover it up with a bit of contrast paint just stippled onto that area. You're not going to see it too much anyway because when he's on the base, you won't be able to look at that underside of him like that. So I'm not too fussed about it. But yeah, he needs a belly rub, doesn't he? I think. Let's give him another belly rub for good luck. Hopefully that'll give me some excellent painting chops here. I'm going to have a sip of water, I think, because I've been waffling on with myself. Let's have a look. Lol, I wish I could, mate. I'm a bit skint. The van smashed into my garage, so we've got to pay for that. Wow, that is bad times, mate. Did they drive off, I'm guessing? Is that why you're left paying for it? Or no insurance, possibly, I don't know. I could do with donations myself. We'll have to... are you above 1,000 subscribers, Bazza? Because if you are, just check your super chat functions turned on and that. So when you go live, people can donate to you. I think I noticed in your last live, or the last live stream of yours that I tuned into, it probably wasn't your last live stream. There was no chat box there, so I couldn't see any chatting. But I think you were talking to people. It might have been a glitch at my end. I'm not sure. The Hobby Corner. Good evening, all. Good evening, Dan Mech Big Skull. I have got a big skull, to be fair, so totally get why you say that. Wish looks at looks at Rivets the big spender. He is a big spender, but you know, when you look this good, people just want to spend money on you. You know, if you looked after yourself a bit more, Kev, then maybe you get a few pound notes thrown your way. Rivet saying hey to Kev of the corner. Right, what we're doing here? Should we get some paint on my paint palette? Let's get some. I've not even got the right brushes out. You'd think I'd have set up perfectly for this stream, but no, of course not. Quick question. It's just occurred to me. Is there any echo? Because this is 2 seconds behind. I'm wondering if there's any audio coming off of my phone as well. Because if there is, I'll have to try and work out how to turn that off so it doesn't get too irritating for you. So if there's any echo, let me know and I'll try and sort it out on my phone. Going to start reaching for paints now. So I'm going to do a bit of an orange dry brush on the skin, and hope that just gives me a nice little highlight. So I'm going to get my makeup brushes out. Everybody get ready to see how you truly apply makeup. Now I was watching Let's Make It Orky on a Twitch stream the other night, I think, or was it a Twitch stream? I think it was a Twitch stream, and she was dry brushing. I think it was Let's Make It Orky. I think it was a joint stream with Nerd404 that I was watching, and I think it was her. She was dry brushing, but she dry brushed like a bone colour onto the red first. I need to think where I'm putting my hand here as well, because my camera's here, so I keep putting my hand in front of my face. She dry brushed like a bone colour first, and then she went over it with an orange colour. So I'm not sure if I want to try that. It feels a bit risky to me to be trying that, but it might not have even been her. It might have been. Excuse me, I'm burping already. That's disgusting. It might have been someone else that I was watching. I can't remember. Daniel Grant joined us in the chat. It was Let's Make It Orky, saying Daniel Grant. Thank you very much. I thought it was, but I wasn't entirely sure. So let me dig around in my paint box. It's not. I don't have to dig around. It's quite organised, to be fair. But I've got one of the GW paint holders. I find it really useful. I was really surprised that I use it this much as well. And what kind of happens after a while, then I'll start leaving paints out and then I forget to put them away and stuff. But at the minute, I've got tools sat on top of it as well. Because when I was tidying my room the other day, I just kind of lumped stuff together. Rivets greeting everybody that joins the chat. So, you're like a superhero, you Rivets, you know. You keep the chat ticking over and greet everyone as they arrive. Absolutely superb community member you are, you know. Right, there's a bone colour, but I don't, like I said, I don't think I want to risk that. Trying that bone effect. Where's my orange? Oh, that's irritating. I don't think I've got any orange in here, you know. I think it's in the other room. Maybe I should use one of my new screens, my Be Right Back screen. Let me have a quick look underneath. I've got some Rise of Rust and I've got some Kindle Flame. They're like orangey paints. I think Kindle Flame will be a bit too pale and Rise of Rust possibly a bit too bright, but I was looking for like Fire Dragon Bright. But I wonder if I've got Squig Orange. I could try first Wild Rider Red. Although I can't see... what's that? No, that's a pink. I can't see immediately Wild Rider Red. That's a purple. My eyes are funny, or this lighting's funny in my room. Oh, I've got some Blood Angels red, haven't I? Where's that? When I say Blood Angels red, I don't mean the contrast paint. I think it's called Blood Angels red. It might just be blood red. It's like an old paint. Where have I even... I swear I just picked up like 3 or 4 old paints together and put them down somewhere. But they've moved. Right. Wazdaka red, that could work. Yeah, so Wazdaka red I was thinking maybe. But that's a bit pinkish, if anything. Wild Rider... I should have some Wild Rider red. There's no Wild Rider red there, is there, that you can see? That's Mephiston. You can't see the names or anything. I'm just asking you, like, I thought there was another donation and I nearly had a heart attack. I just saw Frost and Fist logo up at the top and then I saw the £20 donation and I was like, oh my god, Frost and Fist have donated again as well. But no. Oh, I know that would have killed me off. This stream would have just ended there. I would have been dead on the floor and you would have had to call an ambulance for me. But yeah, it was... What's that colour there? Is that corn red? That's corn red. Don't want that. I don't know why I'm leaving it there if I want that. Right, I'm going to run out a minute. I'll put you on the holding screen. I'll be right back. As it says, chat to each other. You'll see it coming up on the screen as well. Woo. Next up, I'll have some music for you now. I've got this snazzy new layout and everything. Yeah, so I managed to find my Wild Rider Red. I like Wild Rider Red because it's really orangey, frankly. If you compare it to like Wazdaka's Wazdaka's a bit pinkish, but it's really orangey. It's like between red and orange. I'm moving off screen here, aren't I? Right, so it's between red and orange. So I think what I'll do is try the Wild Rider Red first as a light dry brush. And then maybe go for Rise of Rust after that, you know. Which do you reckon? Because the paler one, which could be a more natural kind of look, to be fair, is Fire Dragon Bright, but I think that's too bright. I feel like Squig Orange might actually be closer to Rise of Rust, but I don't think I've ever had a pot of Squig Orange, so I'm not entirely sure. Handily, I've got some tissue here, so I'll be using that for my dry brushing techniques tonight. Should I show you? No, I'll show you that later. I was going to say, should I show you my base, but I'll show you that later. What I will show you in the meantime, though, while I'm setting this up, is that. It's the wrong way around. Is Brutal Cunning. I've not started it yet. I was just finishing the last book I was reading, but I'll be starting this one next. So, I'll let you know my thoughts on that when I start reading it. I've read an orc, a novel from an orc perspective before. So I'm used to reading in like orcish speak. But having said that, on last week's stream, Rivets typed something in orcish speak and I couldn't understand what he was trying to say immediately. So maybe I'm lying there. But yeah, so I've read a novella before in orcish sort of speak. So I'm hoping it's not too heavy in it, but we'll see. I'll get used to it anyway, I'm sure. So I'm excited to read that. But don't hold your breath on it because I'm quite a slow reader. So there we go. Yeah, you can't expect too much from me, can you? What's going off in the chat? Everybody greeting each other. It's all about the community and the base. It's like, and the boss? Which boss? Super Rivets and Daka, yeah. Bigfoot Hobby is saying Super Rivets and Daka, indeed. Can't get over how generous that is. It's so weird, like sitting here and then getting a donation. I remember watching one stream of Dreads once, Dreadwire Gaming, went, back in the day when he used to do YouTube occasionally. And he was doing a stream on Sunday night. He's got his music blaring out and that. And then donation after donations flying in. Some of them were low donations, but some of them were like crazily high donations. I'm watching it, I'm like, whoa, what is going on? That is crazy. But it's amazing how when you're a character in the community and stuff, and someone who people enjoys watching, it's amazing. I'm not saying that like from my perspective. I think people do enjoy watching me, but I don't get money thrown at me like Dredd did that night. Anyway, that night was crazy. I think he was looking to fund a particular thing there. I've just noticed that my donation thing on the top of the screen hasn't come up. So I'm gonna have a play before I. Right, where's the donation? Top donation. If I move that higher up, will that change anything? I wonder. Where's the bar? No, that's not changed anything, so that's not updated. Where's my latest donation then? Tracker, live stream, chat box frame, phone tracker, webcam, sub goal, sub count, sub train. Latest donation is quite high up anyway, so let me stick that there. No, it's not showing up for some reason, the latest donation, but you did see it in the chat box for ages anyway. It was a highlighted £20 donation from Rivet. So if you're just joining us, Modelling for Advantage, good evening. You missed all the action and all the excitement Modelling for Advantage, Herr Kaiser, because I just got a massive donation from Rivets and Dakar of £20 for another snazzy shirt for the next stream. Well, I say for the next stream, hopefully for the next stream. Hopefully I'll be able to get out and get it. I'm off work tomorrow, but I've got a few things on tomorrow. I've got to get a quiz ready for this weekend for my friends. And then I've got to write a script for a future video. Exciting. I'm back. Just got a nice can of larger. Larger than what? Right. Now I need my brushes. Ooh. I swear I put them there before. They have absolutely done a runner, mate. They have done a runner. I went for a nice walk today around a bit of Lady Bower Reservoir. Went up over Snake Pass. Fun fact, not so fun for the drummer perhaps to remember, but the drummer in Def Leppard lost his arm in a car crash on Snake Pass. Oh, you know what? I'm getting the other bottle open there. I don't want that bottle open yet. Here we go. Let's get me dry brush. And me other dry brush. Should I get a brush to get the paint on the thing? Let's get a brush to get the paint on the palette, shall we? So I'm not going straight into the pot with that one. I've got some old brushes here I could use. There's a big chunky old brush, isn't there? Yeah, let's get that one. So this is going to be my brush to the palette. Where's that good red? Do do do. It's weird, isn't it, how on my paint palette I like to keep similar colours all in one area. I'm a very strange boy. Let's get just that much now. And let's see how we go with that. Close that pot. Oh, I get when I'm watching some people on streams and that, and they leave the paint pots open the whole stream, I'm like, close your pot, it's going to dry out. It'll dry out anyway, it's a GW pot, isn't it? To be fair though, I've had these a good few years now and these haven't dried out, so I don't seem to get that quite so much, although I've noticed a couple of pots of lead belcher recently that have just done it on me. Right, circular motion. I reckon that'll do. Let's get the arm first of all. Now the trick is, I say the trick is like I know what I'm doing. I'm trying not to touch the scales too much. I should have done this part before I painted the scales and everything. but I just don't want to touch those scales that much. It feels like that's not doing anything, you know. Is that doing anything? I feel like that's not doing anything. Ooh, my giddy aunt. That's the problem when you get a makeup brush. If you've got a big fat one like this, it's kind of tricky to get it in the right areas. I thought the skin was just looking a little bit flat, and I thought, you know what? If I get the skin brought up a level or two, it'll hopefully make the model look much closer to completion. I've got the Howdor ready to start painting on, but I'm not sure how I want to attack it. We were talking on last week's stream, if you didn't tune in for it for whatever reason, we were talking on last week's stream, and I was asking how people thought I should approach these panels and stuff. And Nurgle's Rot was, not Nurgle's Rot, the other one, Typhus Corrosion was mentioned, and I think I want to put some Typhus Corrosion in various areas. I could have done that before I started this dry brushing, really, but put the Typhus Corrosion in various areas on the Howdor, and then crack on from there. Rick Allen, the Thunder God, learned to play drums with one arm and both feet after the accident. He was driving a left-hand drive car and didn't see the oncoming car. There we go. I knew Grawley would know stuff like that, you know. He's a fountain of knowledge? A font of knowledge? Is it fountain or font? I feel like it's fountain because it just comes out of him. Yeah, he always knows stuff like that. This isn't doing anything. It feels like it's not. I feel like I'm going to have to go with an orange instead of... Wild Red Red is kind of like a really reddy orange in my opinion, rather than an orangey red. But I just feel like this isn't doing much. So what was his name? Rick Allen, yeah, I thought it was Rick Allen, you said. So yes, Def Leppard drummer. It is amazing to watch him play drums, because he's got the extra foot pedal and that. Oh, it is actually doing something now. Oh yes, lovely jubbly. Ooh baby, that's what I like. Why is that in my head? I keep looking at, there's two chats, so I've got a chat on one screen in my Streamlabs, and then on the other screen I've got the chat on YouTube, so I'm like, which one do I look at? But one of them is behind the camera, so I shouldn't try and look at that one because I can't see it. I suppose it doesn't really matter if I touch the scales at the end of the day, because I've got like a reddish highlight on the edge of it because of the way I've painted them, so it doesn't matter too much if I touch those scales. That's good. That's good to know, good to remember. I think it's really hard to see because the reds aren't that far apart. It's kind of hard to see if I'm making any progress at times here. Grawley, when you're coming back to do videos again, says Bazza. Modern for Advantage. So when this COVID nonsense is behind us, how do you feel about me swinging by with my Space Wolves and showing your Thousand Suns how real Marines do it? Well, my Thousand Suns are kind of non-existent, assuming you're talking to me. My Thousand Suns are kind of a concept army. They were going to be my 30k force, and I was going to get them all painted up all candy red and that, but no, I've got like, I started on a squad and Araman, I think, and then I kind of just left them after that. If you were talking to me, that is. But yeah, I do want to at least finish my Prospero Pyramid, and maybe if I could get a kill team built up or something, that wouldn't be a bad idea at all. I still need to play 9th edition as well. I've not played 9th edition yet, like not even by myself, just rolling dice. I just I've not felt the urgency to start playing it. I think it's because I've realised now that books come out a lot quicker than I can use them and stuff. So I just kind of like don't buy the new books and that. So it's yeah, I've not got the urgency to play 40k proper at the moment. But hopefully when we get new kill team in, hopefully it's like, I kind of want Kill Team to be not a complete. I don't know. I feel like people talk about Warcry like it's an amazing game, and I feel like maybe I am missing out on Warcry, but I'm kind of pushing back because I don't like certain things about it, like the symbols instead of the you know, like the lettering that we have at the top of a profile in 40k and in Kill Team and stuff. So because they have that, I kind of push back and think, well, I don't like the idea of that. I'd rather see lettering saying like A for attacks, W for wounds and stuff like that. So I kind of automatically just push back on stuff like that. And also I'd rather play in a sci-fi setting than in a fantasy setting. You know, it's just my preference. But I'm hoping Kill Team in January might be a little bit of an update that makes it a bit more like you can get through a game in 20 minutes in some cases, kind of thing. Because you can get through a game in Kill Team reasonably quick anyway, in, you know, an hour or something like that, 45 minutes, an hour. But if they simplify it just a little bit more, I feel like they could simplify it and just make it a bit more fast-paced somehow. And I feel like they could learn from, or you may have learned from what people liked about Warcry, or like about Warcry rather. Grawley responding to Bazza, I've got a head full of responding to me rather, I've got a head full of useless trivia. Also responding to Bazza, it's been 4 years since his last vid, not had time or the inspiration, but thinking recently I should get back into it. Yeah, if you do get the inspiration, I'd be excited to see what videos you start doing, mate. It is one of those things though, it's like I've not played 9th edition yet, like I was just saying, I've just not got the urgency to pick up the rule book and like open that new starter box and that and start playing it. I just don't feel that urgency for some reason. So I'm not forcing myself to do it. I do kind of want to get back to doing simple missions on the channel and stuff, but you know, I'm not desperate to do it. So at the minute I'm kind of happy doing one live stream a week and try and get another video out a week or a video out 2 weeks or something like that. You know, just regular and semi-regular content at the same time. Regular and semi-regular at the same time. Yeah, it sounds like that's a bit of not an oxymoron, but a bit of a ridiculous statement. Regular and semi-regular content. Yeah, so one being a permanent fixture, the Tuesday night live stream, unless I can't do it for whatever reason, in which case I just put a video up instead. And another being the reasonably reliable Sunday vids that I do. And every other Sunday now I'm doing a live stream as well. I didn't do one this week, did I? Did I? No, I don't think I did. So I must be doing one this coming weekend. Yeah, I tuned in to Pickle Jazz this weekend, just gone. So this coming weekend I should have another live stream, and Aussie friendly live stream. Bard just joined us in the chat. Welcome, mate. Right, wow, the chat is flying now. Let me just scroll back up through that chat because I feel like I've missed a few comments here. Right, it's been 4 years. Look forward to it, mate. Get yourself over to my Facebook group, Underdog Painting Hobby Hangout. So it's not like the last group where It's not like the last group we're in. Cough, cough. Haha. Okay, I don't know what group that's talking about. A vertical. Gamza maybe. A vertical mine of a veritable mine of information, not a vertical mine of information. A veritable mine of information. I thought you were into Thousand Suns. I am into them in the lore and stuff like that, but not in. I've never played them in a 40k setting. I do kind of like the aesthetic though, but I prefer the 30k setting and the idea that Magnus did nothing wrong and stuff like that. People arguing about it. I should have really set that to not do any notifications and stuff, shouldn't I? Do not disturb, that's the one. What else have we got in the chat before I go to this? It's going dry on the palette there. Never mind dry. It'll be super dry brushing soon. I want it like Warcry, yeah. So I know you're a big fan of Warcry, aren't you? So it'd be I think it'd be exciting for me to get to grips with a game that's like Warcry, because the thing is, I don't want to get into another game. That's another reason I've never gotten into Warcry. I don't want another set of rules that I'll inevitably not play enough to remember readily, and therefore when I do play, I'll be getting it mixed up with other games and stuff like that. Because whenever I play, it's it's once every couple of months at best, really. So I don't remember rules. I only play 40k technically, although I've not played it since the very start of 8th edition, and I play Kill Team, and I play the occasional board game as well. But because I go for that long between games, it's I don't remember rules readily as it is. So if I added another game to the mix, I feel like I'd struggle to remember rules even more than I do now. But if you change the rules of Kill Team to be more like Warcry, I'd be excited to tackle that, because I like Kill Team as it is, because it's a smaller scale. You just got to get smaller number of models painted up. I've always been a bit of a hobby butterfly or magpie. Like whatever shiny and new applies to a magpie, but a butterfly goes from one thing to another, doesn't it? So I think they kind of both work then. Oh, that's really irritating now. Who's sending me stupid stuff? Nobody. Right, let me put this on Do Not Disturb. There we go. Hopefully we won't be disturbed. Anyway, so I've always been a bit of a hobby butterfly, magpie, whatever, going from one project to another. So I like the idea of having multiple forces that I can use without having to have 100 models in each force or whatever. I'm rushing to paint my Death Guard towards new codex. Excellent stuff, Alex. I want to get back to some Death Guard soon, because I've just bought the what are they called? The blind boxes. Space Marine Heroes Series 3 Death Guard. I just unboxed them on Sunday. If you've not watched the video, feel free to go and check that out after this live stream. I'd very much appreciate it. But yeah, I got that. I saw the Death Guard and I was like, wow, I love those ones. Compared to the other Space Marine Hero models, I think they're absolutely they're fantastic compared to the other Space Marine Hero ones, in my opinion. Because Death Guard, you can give so much character just by adding a pustule here, a boil there, and stuff like that. But there's more ways that you can give a Death Guard model character than there is a Space Marine. Space Marine, it's mainly about pose and the choice of weapons you give them. But whereas with Death Guard, you can go for pose, you can go for choice of weapon, but you can also add a whole like their armor's a bit more ramshackle, so one might wear a certain type of helmet, another might wear another type of helmet. Now we saw that a little bit with Space Marines when we had the last Tactical Marine squads, but with Primaris Marines now, they're all wearing exactly the same stuff. Other than a purity seal here and there, so that you can customize a Death Guard in a greater variety of ways, I feel, than you can a Space Marine. So the Death Guard Heroes models, Space Marine Heroes models, I was really looking forward to getting my hands on them, but it's a way off before I'm going to start painting them, I think. Oh no, that's too wet. Let's just move it round and hope for the best. Oh yeah, that's looking good actually. Maybe I should leave a bit more paint on the brush. Right. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be going through the chat, wasn't I? Yeah, by restart the game, more like Warcry, instead of creating terrible mechanics like flesh wounds to account for a single wound models being a bit naff in a 10 model game. Yeah. I think just change the profiles completely. Make them more like Warcry, where each model has like 10 plus wounds. Because when you're chipping away at a model's wounds, you are actually achieving something. Rather than, I feel like in Kill Team, if you effectively kill something because you remove its last wound, but then it gets converted to a flesh wound, I feel like I've lost something there as the player controlling the attacking model. I feel like I've lost something there, or something's been taken away from me. Whereas if you've got a 15 wound model and I've just taken 3 wounds off it, I've achieved something. I've not lost something, I've achieved something. So it's a different mechanic, and it's a slightly different approach to the game, and it makes it a lot less like 40k. But ultimately, it's a tiny skirmish game. It's not like 40k. 40k to some people is a skirmish game still, but it's you know, it's on a much bigger scale. You know, there's very few armies with like 10 or fewer models, isn't there? Depending on how you build your army, that is. Because I think you can probably build most factions with 10 or fewer models, but then like 9th edition rules and stuff, the way you build your armies could make that a bit less viable. Yeah, Legion imploded, says so it was a Z-Legion that Bazza was referring to. Dun, 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 dun. Regular and semi-regular, much like my bladder. Is that why you're always up watching Frost and Fish streams? Yeah, I sort of came in late on that one the other night. I just woke up randomly at like 4:30 in the morning, so I thought, oh, I'll check if Frost and Fish are streaming. I wasn't sure if they would be, so checked, and sure enough, they were there. And then you were the last comment before I put my comment in, and then I kind of almost fell asleep more or less straight away again. But I think they only went for about half an hour, and then I just watched it back the next day. You know what? I've caught up with my YouTube feed. It's amazing. A miracle. A veritable miracle. Is that a phrase? Just going back over where I've been now. I want to get a little bit more of a highlight. Oh, look at that on the edge of that scale. Kind of like the look of that. Yeah, so it doesn't matter too much if I catch the scales. I kind of like the look of it in the end. Let me get back to that chat in a second. Look at that, that's looking nice. I think I will do one of orange though as well, you know, over the top of that. Oh, I've not done his face, I've just realised. So I might do the face, see how that looks with a Wild Rider red dry brush. And then potentially, oh, I nearly went straight onto the model from the palette then, didn't I? What a numpty. Then potentially start attacking it with orange. Yeah, so the next plan, as I said, after I've done the slightly more professional looking stream setup now with multiple cameras and whatnot, the next plan is to look into more detail about what music I can play on the channel. I know I can do royalty free music. I put royalty free music in my videos from Incomtech, Mr. McLeod, what's his name? Not Duncan McLeod, the Clan McLeod, is it? Kevin McLeod, I think. Or is that the guy from Grand Designs? I feel like that's the guy from Grand Designs. Might be the same name though, you never know. Let's have a look. People saying hello to Bard because of the divvy that made it. Still referring to the previous group we were all members of, or many of us were members of. I missed half an hour again. Hello Bazooka, you absolute numpty. Yeah, you were like the second or third person in the chat, I think, weren't you? But of course you've missed the very start of the stream, unfortunately. Not to worry though, you didn't miss much. I've just been doing a bit of dry brushing, haven't I? I'd have to do some vids on my newer armies as well as my original Eldar and Harlequins. Got Space Wolves for 40k, and I was going to say Slytherin for AOS then. Yeah, Slytherin are a new faction in AOS. Sylvaneth for AOS. Thoughts on Xmas boxes. I will share them shortly. Not just yet. Let me get that ready for doing a bit of dry brushing on the old face there though. Magnus did not wrong, says Rivets. Debatable. In some people's minds, but not mine. Magnus didn't. No, Magnus did do stuff wrong. But I think you can't... There's not many characters in the Heresy that you can truly say did nothing wrong. it doesn't just apply to Magnus when people say, of course he did stuff wrong. Every heresy character does stuff wrong. Primarily, the prime example of that, in my opinion, is the Emperor. He is not a very nice person. You could argue he's not a person. He is a person. He's not like necessarily fully properly human. But yeah, that's the prime example of someone doing stuff wrong in the heresy for me is the Emperor. The heresy was largely down to him. So I do just realise I'm doing that off camera. I was just doing like the makeup brush is massive, and I want to attack particular parts of the face with this. So what I'm doing, I'm just bunching it up and kind of like just dragging it over certain areas. So I'm just poking certain parts of the face with a sort as if it's a smaller dry brush. That actually looks really good on camera. It doesn't look like that good in real life. The camera's cheating your eye. Yeah, so the Emperor did a lot wrong in my opinion in the heresy. That's a big part of the issue with saying that Magnus and the Thousand Sons did everything wrong, is that they didn't really do everything wrong. You got to look further back in the, not further back in the story, but there are certain stories, audio dramas and stuff like that in the heresy that sort of show, although I'm not as big up on the heresy, and as necessarily I'm not necessarily as up to date as other people might be, so there might be new stuff out now, but there's plenty going on in the heresy that proves that everyone does stuff wrong. Enough heresy talk, we need more orc talk. Orky talky. If anyone wants to use that as a podcast name, feel free. Oh yes, I'm liking the look of that. But I want a fee. Oh no. What is going on there? I've only just realised on the screen there's like double chat boxes, isn't there? Can I get rid of chat box? Right, I've got chat box 2 there. Sub goal. Right, the chat box is the very bottom thing. And have I got another chat box? Oh no, it's not the very bottom thing. Chat box frame. So there's chat box frame and there's chat box. Should I delete chat box frame? And let me see what happens when I move it first. Let's move it over there, see if that changes anything. No. That doesn't change anything whatsoever. Delete that then, see what happens. Remove. Remove chat box frame. Okay, that's gone. So why is there 2 chat boxes? Right, I can move that one, then you can see the other one. What's that one about? So that's chat box 2. That's just the overall screen, right? So if I remove this, oh no, I don't want to remove that. Cancel. I almost removed the desk down camera then. Oh no. Leave that there where it is. Right, so what's that then? Right, that's that. Remove. Okay, so what's that? That's just, right, okay. It seems to be alright now. Hopefully that'll sort it all out for you. So you'll just see one lot of chat now, so you can actually read it instead of one lot of chat sat over another lot of chat. Oh my giddy aunt. Right, I'll come back to the chat in just a second when I've done this last little bit of dry brush around the old jawline. Oh yeah, I'm liking the look of that on the jawline. Very nice. Let's take that off. I've still not changed the tongue. I don't know whether I'll just end up going with another layer of the blue. yes, look at that. No, need a bit more on there. Oh yeah. Try not to get too much on the tusks, but I've just got some on that tusk there. I'll have to redo that tusk maybe, or I could just say it's a bit of blood. Just drag a bit over the forehead here again. Try and get a bit more there. I'm going with some orange around this, just to super highlight the face. And faces and bases, that's what you're supposed to pay most attention to. Base wise, I'll just show you that now. Base wise, this is where I'm up to with the base. What I want is it to look like there's I've put like a framework of cork around the edge. I've done that, and then I'm going to put like a little pyramid of cork in the middle to raise up the centre bit of this layer. What that should do theoretically is when I place him onto it, it'll mean these bits are pushed down a bit and it looks like he's stood on tarmac that's giving way under his weight, because I want him to look super heavy. So that's what I'm going to do with the base. I feel like it's a little bit plain still, so I might add a couple of, like a barrel or something like that to the base, in the same way that I've got barrels on my squig can. I'm doing that again, aren't I? Waving in front of my face. Yeah, so in a similar way to I've got barrels on my squig can. I think I'll catch you all again soon. I'm guessing Grawley's leaving us then. Good night, Grawley. Good luck if you do get to start up your channel again, hopefully. Anyone else joined us in the chat? So that's where I'm going with the base, but I need to make sure it doesn't look too plain as well, I think. Let's have a look through this chat, because I feel like it's been ticking away and I've been missing most of it. What we're doing here. Right, so I had to stop playing computer games, hobby suffered, and I had more invested in the hobby. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't play computer games at the minute, and I don't buy any of the new consoles or anything, because I feel like it'd just take up too much of my time if I started playing them. And I've never been a massive gamer, but I do like having, you know, just whipping out the Wii or something like that and going on Mario Kart. I'm into like kind of casual game me, so I'd be playing stuff like FIFA, Mario Kart, not games where there's a story mode to follow and stuff like that, because I don't have the dedication or the will really to just keep going through story modes of games. I need to learn how to play 40k. I have no idea, says Underdog Painting. You were going to a GW a while ago, weren't you? Your local GW, I think. And playing against the manager, from what I remember. That was the last I heard of you gaming. So, but that would have been at least 8th edition, possibly 7th edition, if I remember rightly. It was a while ago now. I remember you talking about it. Small patrol-sized games, Baz and Gar, nice and small, good to learn new rules. Exactly. That's what I'll be doing when I get to roll some dice eventually for 9th edition, 8th edition, 9th. What edition are we in? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's an edition I've not played yet anyway. That was from Essex Boys. Essex Boys joined us in the chat. I think that's the first time I've seen you in the chat. I've had a £20 donation, Essex Boys, from Gar. So once again, thank you. Rivets and Dakar. Super hobby hero. Evening, JR Blazing Arrow. Welcome to the chat. Death Guard are great for dry brushing. I've not done any dry brushing on my Death Guard. I just do contrast paints on them, and I've not felt the need to do any dry brushing on them. Not that I would avoid it. It's just that I feel like they look good as they are. But I've gone for like almost like a 30k theme colour scheme. Gnawzilla looking fabulous. Thank you very much, JR. JR, I feel like I'm talking to the wrestling commentator now. I just did a video of how to paint Plague Berry. Yeah, I saw that one, Bazza. Did I not comment on it? I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. When I first was watching it though, I was like, oh, I wouldn't have done them that colour. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, he's not painting Poxwalkers. He's painting Plague Bearers. Because in my head, I read it as Plague Bearers, but in my head, the unit I was picturing was Poxwalkers. Because I like to have like an obviously human skin tone on Poxwalkers, and then I sort of make it look a bit gross, a bit not quite human anymore kind of thing. So when you started, I was like, I wouldn't have started with, was it a Death Guard green spray you started with, or something? I can't remember. But I was like, I wouldn't have started with that. But some people, I'm sure, do paint the Poxwalkers that way. But it's just not the way I'd do it. But yeah, the overall colour scheme on the Plague Bearers, really good scheme. I'd recommend, if you're looking to paint Plague Bearers, definitely go check out Baz's video. I'll teach you, I'll let you teach me, Clint. Gonna do a kill team for Spring Tour. Excellent. Want to see it. Want to see what, Alex? I don't know now. On my watch list, Baz. Death Guard are great to make creepy and horrible. They are indeed. And we've just passed the time of year for it. Pardon me. Did another little burp there. Hopefully you didn't hear it. Cheers, mate. People greeting each other. So, with no Eldar box, you think we'll see new Elder Scrolls in the new year? Oh, sculpts. I thought he was taking the mick then with that question, the bard, because I read it as Elder Scrolls, and I was like, is he just making a daft joke about the computer game and the Eldar and them having a similar name? But no, it's just me being an absolute numpty when it comes to reading. You can only hope, I guess, can't you? Yeah, you can only hope. Essex Boy says he hopes so, and I hope so too. We'd like to see Plastic Aspect Warriors, perhaps. Updated Phoenix Lords. Oh, we've had one. Why not some more? Maybe we'll have to wait and see, I guess, won't we? Steve-O got a bit up about a New Orc box set. Not seen it yet though. Oh, there's no new box for Christmas for orcs. Although there is some with some squig hoppers in, goblins. So it could be about that, or it could be about converting some of the other boxes to make them a bit orky. The one with the goblins in also has trolls in, so you could, potentially convert them to make them orky. Or there's an ogre box as well, which you could convert into orcs. Ogres in a gargant. Oh. Huh. Looking forward to new orcs, says Bigfoot Hobbies. Hopefully we'll get some. Kevin McLeod says Grawley's Lair. Grawley knows everything, you see. Told you. So it's not Duncan McLeod of the Clan McLeod. What was the other McLeod called? Because there was one in the TV series and there was a different character in the films, wasn't there? I'm sure. Maybe not. What new army would everyone collect next? I have all the armies, so that's not a good question for me. I don't have all the armies. But that reminds me, actually, I need to speak to Thingy about getting my Gnawzilla cults back. Zach from The Crimson Painter. Or where he's up to with them anyway, because he was painting them for me. Very generously, for free, because he just wanted to paint some Gnawzilla cult. So I sent a load to him, or a box. I've spoken about it on other streams, so I won't go on too long, but it was a board game with Gnawzilla cults and Deathwatch. Can't remember, the Deathwatch Overkill. So I sent him the Gnawzilla cult half of that, basically, and he was painting them up for me. And then I think he said he's going to finish the ones he started and send them back to me. So I'll need to be in touch with him to see where he's up to with that. Yeah, are there any armies that I don't collect? I've not got really any guard. I've got a squad of Tempestor Scions and I've got a Tower Rocks, but I've not really got any Imperial Guard. So I guess the only one left for me to collect, or one of a few left for me to collect, would be, or to buy models for at least, would be Imperial Guard. I have models for every faction though, at the minute, I think. Black Templars, says Essex Boys. He's loving his Black Templars, isn't he? I saw him in Pickle Stream on Sunday saying he wanted to see Pickle paint some Black Templars. So yeah, Clint's very excited about the Black Templars. Right, got to jump in the shower, and I'm not bringing you all in the bathroom to see me naked. I take everyone streaming to the bathroom with me, personally, but I'm having a bath, not a shower. I do like showers, it's just that I don't have a very good one, so I tend to have baths these days. Right, wow, I've really fallen behind on the chat. Deathcore of Krieg, says Gar, or Iron Warriors for all the army, yeah. Deathcore of Krieg's, I think it's for many people, it's like a fantasy army, isn't it? Because kind of expensive to get into, but really cool looking army for sure. Mostly Zan's joined us in the chat as well. Stippling with the makeup brush. It was a bit of a mix between a stipple and a dry brush. It wasn't really a full stipple. I was just trying to get into certain areas with a bit of a point on the brush. The killer squig is looking great. Thank you very much. Giant blue tongue looks evil. I like the blue tongue. A few people were saying it didn't quite look right last week, but I think it was more the gums around it as well. One thing I noticed when I watched the stream back, I'm going to hold it up to my phone now and see if we can get a better image here. When I watched the stream back, yeah, in this light, where do we go? This way. In this light, it doesn't look as purple as it does in real life. It looks more purple in real life. Now, it's not super purple or anything, but it definitely looks more purple than it does on camera. Because I was watching my stream back the other week, just before this, not the other week, I don't know why I said the other week. Just before this, I was watching my last stream back, and this definitely looks more purple in real life than it does on camera. Maybe if I do a bit of a Drucci Violet wash, though, it'll bring it out a little bit better. Oh, got an itchy nose. I love the second installment of the Shark Attack gun, Tom. I'll have to have a look at Shark Attack gun myself. I've not seen it, I don't think. Part 3 is even better. Leave a comment for the epic narrator. I'll encourage him. Didn't come up on my chat. Me. Try to work out what's happening here. I don't know. I'll stay out of that one. Boys look cool. Oh my! I don't know where I'm at in the chat now. Base looks cool, Dan. Thank you very much. Essex. I'm calling you by county now. Gonna listen to Shark Attack Gun tonight whilst hobbying. Right, okay. You know what, I'm just gonna tab that into, I'm guessing it's on YouTube. I don't want to do it there because that'll take me away from this. I'll just tap into Google quickly. Yes, I did mean Shark Attack Gun. Right, well it's there anyway, so I should come back to that later post-stream. I was totally addicted to Need for Speed Street, wow. I've got an unbuilt old plastic Necrons and command barge. I want to turn them into Chaos Androids. Still no new models needed here yet. Yeah, exactly, I'm in the same boat. I've got loads of unpainted plastic that is in dire need of attention, so I won't be buying any new factions yet, unless one comes out and I'm blown away by the aesthetic of it, which I can't see happening personally. But you never know. Really looking forward to that. Gotta love Kit Bash Cap. Slow but brill. Eldar Scalps is all you need next year. Wah, says Rivets and Daka. Tongue looks great, says Essex Boys. Thank you very much. Add a bit of red to the violet wash, Dan, for the tongue and gums. Add a bit of red to the violet wash for the tongue and gums. I'm not sure if I want to do the tongue with a wash. I do like the blue on the tongue, but I think I might try a violet wash first on the gums and then see where to go from there. What I think. You'd think they'd be the same colour though, so I get why you're saying that to the tongue and gums, because you'd think they'd be the same colour. Right, I think I'm more or less caught up with the chat, so I can get back to doing a bit of painting, a bit of. Oh, I've just read that one. Mythos, what are you working on, bro? Are you busy? Baby shark, do 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 do. Let's stop that. Do 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 do. That's from Modelling for Advantage. Hair Kaiser, the Restless Kaiser. I'm running low on plastic crack, says the bard. Well, you better go and seek out your local plastic crack dealer. I better stop that because I might get the stream shut down. If yeah, it's when you get a stream shut down seems random sometimes. It could be something like that. I remember watching Frost and Fish stream and they were trying to work out why they had the stream shut down. It didn't seem like they were talking about anything bad to them, but it could have just been a joke like that or something. Right, what do we want to do now? Bit of orange onto the skin, do you reckon? Do I want to go as far as Kindle Flame? Do I want Rise of Rust, or is that too bright? Oh, I don't know where to go from here. I feel like Chicken Tonight. Fire Dragon Bright. I feel like Fire Dragon Bright. Like Fire Dragon Bright. I feel like I might want to try Rise of Rust, you know. You know what? I'm just going to quickly get up Squig. Oh, I can't do it on my phone. That's irritating. Squig Orange. I'm sure there's a colour called Squig Orange from Games Workshop, and I want to see what sort of shade it is. Because if they do use that on their squigs. GW, because I am going for a GW sort of colour scheme. Here we go. So it's a layer paint Squig Orange. And it's Rise of Rust colour. Or very similar colour to Rise of Rust. Yeah, so I'm going to see if I can, if this Rise of Rust, hopefully it's still got some life in it. Oh yes it has, look at that. It's like a perfect pot of dry brush paint. Right, what do I want to do here? Get some of this out. Ooh, look at that. Work it into those bristles. Oh, I've just realised I've taken my feed off of the old screen there. Nip round here, Bard. Got loads, says Rivets. Offering some of his toys to other people there. I may have recently sent one of my toys packing. Only one little model though. And you may be seeing details of that in a future video. It's all cryptic here. Do I like that orange or not? I don't know if I like that. I can just paint it again if I don't like it, can't I? I feel you're doing this dry brushing with this makeup brush, right? And I just feel like because there's very little paint going on, it looks like nothing's changing at first. It's not until you've worked on it for a little bit longer that it becomes a bit apparent that stuff is changing. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think it's because the makeup brush won't fit in the pot, right? So I'm a bit like, oh, we'll get another brush to get it out. Oh, look at that. Oh, would you look at that? What I'll do is get a bit on the palette as well. So I'm going to use a bit more, aren't I? Oh, yes. And here we have some Rise of Rust being spread onto a dry palette. Oh, you know what I forgot to do at the start of this stream? I was going to do Pickle Jar's intro. There's not that much special about Pickle Jar's intro, but if you've watched one of his videos or his live streams, you'll know what it is. He likes to surprise you at the start of the video, I feel like. because he says hello so loud. It's like, whoa! It's kind of like, I'm always taken aback by it. I'm like, whoa, that's loud. And then the rest of the video isn't as loud, but it's like, hello and welcome. And then he goes normal volume. So I feel like he likes to take people by surprise at the start, make sure they're paying attention. It's probably something that's encouraged by YouTube, and you know, it's probably an effective way of grabbing people's attention right away. I imagine he's got a reason for doing it like that. But it's just like, because I don't watch many like pro YouTubers. It's kind of like, whoa, when he first says hello, it's like, whoa, he's loud. And then it just goes to like, you know, regular volume kind of a deal. So it's not like, oh, yes. Got Indomitus Necrons and Marines to sort at the minute, says Essex. And then the Bard recommending he watch some conversion vids before. He wishes he had done before starting. I've converted up. Oh no, that's too orange. That's better. Just rub it off with your finger. I've converted up some Space Marines. I didn't see all that wetness there. I've converted up some of the Space Marines from my Indomitus set. You may have seen if you watched the videos where I've done it. Yeah, I've not done. Well, I say from my Indomitus set. It's the Marines from the Indomitus set. I bought them on eBay. I didn't buy Indomitus. I wasn't too bothered by it. Oh no, I've not got any of that there, have I now? Problem with using toilet roll instead of kitchen towel is it tears a little bit easier. Too orange. Pickle jar, miniatures, excellent. I'm just going to move this camera slightly so I can read that chat because it's bugging me. I keep automatically going to see that because I see that one update out the corner of my eye, and then I'm like, oh no. Oh, matron. Right, so Gar was just saying something then. Pickle, been watching YouTube vids. Correct. Yeah, going to try converting the Marines to make them into Black Templars. Bath. At Bath. Another typo there, fantastic. That's probably the best typo I've ever seen in one of my streams. Instead of Bard, Bath. I feel like that's more orange on this side than it is on the other side now. I'm going to go in with a smaller dry brush on the face area because I don't want to get any orange on any of the major features. Major features like the other colours on the face. That's what I mean when I say major features. Just keep tearing that tissue now. Ripping and a tearing. Could just do that as a rusted panel if I wanted to, couldn't I? Just do that, see what happens. Oh yes. Yeah, it's getting more orangey on this side now. Am I going too orangey though? That's the question. I can just put a wash over it, can't I? If I need to bring it back down, or a glaze of red. Oh, I've not done that arm. It's weird with an animal, isn't it, that walks on four limbs, because is it an arm at the front or is it a leg? It's a leg, really. But technically, it's an arm as well. I'm sure if Grawley was here, he'd be able to tell us why it's one or the other. It's like cuts of lamb. You get shoulder, don't you? And then you get rump. Now rump is attached to the leg. Shoulder is attached to the forelimbs, which is an arm. When I say the forelimbs, I don't mean all four limbs. I mean the two limbs at the back. Yeah, I feel like sometimes when I'm painting and I get a bit into it, and I've just realised I'm doing this off camera again, but sometimes when I'm painting and I get into it, I stop talking, and that's why I think I just need a little bit of music in the background. I think the reason I can't see what's going on here is basically, and I prefer painting back here, is the light's better back here than it is here. I just need to improve my lighting setup as well, but I think that's going to be something I do for Christmas. I tell you what I'll do is put the big light on. That's always a useful tactic, isn't it? Or often a useful tactic. So I've got a bit more light coming from behind me now. Should make it a little bit easier to see. And let's turn that lamp off. You get a full snazzy shirt look there, don't you, as well? We should leave that lamp on. Yeah, let's leave it on. Oh yeah, you can see all the orange on that now, definitely. Just couldn't see it before. Get between those toes. How are we doing on that? Is that looking... Oh, that's looking orange as well, isn't it? A bit more across there, I reckon. Is it looking too orange though? I can't quite decide. Like I said, if it is too orange and I decide it is too orange one day, I can simply paint it again. Because I've really, so far, I've really enjoyed painting this miniature. Don't want that to fall off. Quickly get that and place that in there. So that's what he's looking like so far. I need to do the orange dry brush on the head as well now. I'm just going to get a smaller dry brush out to do that with, rather than use the makeup brush. What I think I need to invest in though is just a smaller makeup brush, and then that'll be slightly simpler. The problem is when I've got the chat on the screen and stuff, you can't quite see a clear picture of the model. If I just move him up there like that, that should give you a bit of a better idea. Down a touch. Go on, come down. There we go. Yeah, so that's a better idea of how he's looking so far. Facially, you can see him head on there. And I think just a highlight, a further highlight of orange on the face is going to bring it to a nice little next level of pop, which should go down a treat in my opinion. Let's pull his face off. And he's dropped his leg. That's one thing with not gluing it all together. I keep forgetting that it's not glued all together. Before we go to the face and start attacking the face, I'll give you a better idea of what I mean with the base, hopefully. Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky to see, I think, on camera. And I think I might need to adjust it slightly. But it's going to be sat on the base. Roughly like that. And hopefully you can see there the sort of rise and fall of the various parts of the base. So it looks like, when it's glued down, it'll show you a little bit better, I think. But it looks a bit more like hilly. Not hilly, but like undulations, because the road's being all cracked, the tarmac's being all cracked under the weight of him. So that's the sort of effect I'm going for with the base. Hopefully you get that from what I've just talked you through there. Oh, let's put him down. Oh, the Howdar is in a position to start on as well. I've got a load of grots in there at the minute, because I was playing around like a little boy with these little toys. Yeah, so the Howdar's in a position to start on. I don't know exactly how I want to do it. I saw an image of a squig, a gargantuan squigoth with like a with white armour on top of it, and I kind of liked it, so I was tempted to try white armour and then just do certain panels, do the bulk of it in white. So the front bit I'll leave white, and these two front bits that are raised I'll have white, and then maybe another colour on the bottom bit of the front panel there, and then various panels I'll pick out in other colours, like probably blue there, black there, checks I'll do in blue, and then, you know, various panels I'll just pick out in different colours. And then internally, mainly do it black, I think. Don't want the eye being drawn too much to the interior. I'm not too fussed by that. And then weapon-wise, I don't know what I'm going to do with the weapons. Make them brassy or something. You know what? I could have used Rune Lord brass on them because I bought some for the Necrons in the Elite starter set that I bought. Elite? Command starter set that I bought. Oh, anything going off in the chat? We've got... Oh, I've missed a fair bit there, I think. Was the bikes I would... Oh, it's the bikes the Bard would mess about with, I think. Barflol says rivets. I want a response to the captain. Hey, Clint. Are the Indomitus beaky bikes worth looting? It's all an arg. It's an arg. An arg? Could be, guy. Yeah, I think the Indomitus bikes could be worth looting and extending the front of them somehow to make them into like knob bikers or something. My opinion, anyway. I think, you know, they could be worth looting. What I'm going to do is you can chat amongst yourselves. I'm just going to nip to the loo. We've got about 40 minutes left, so I'm just going to have a quick loo break. I'll be right back. What an idiot. Yes, so you didn't miss anything. I was just reading through the chat. So yeah, people just saying the Zilla's looking killer. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much. Rivets and Gnawzilla defo my next Kromlech order. I don't know why I said Rivets and Daka then. From Clint. Oh no, from Rivets and Daka. That's why I said Rivets and Daka. And Clint saying he can't get it till Christmas. The missus is buying it in. God bless her hobnail boots. Sound. I'm getting good at lip reading. Well, yeah, you knew exactly what I'd said already. So thank you very much for pointing out that I wasn't audible. So now I'm just going to crack on and do some work on the face. Hopefully, we'll get a similar effect to what I've done on the body, and it's not going to be too much different because this is a GW dry brush now I'm using, not a makeup brush. I feel like this orange is a little bit bright. I'll see how I feel about it tomorrow, I guess. Oh yes, look at that. I'm glad I've got you lot here to tell me when I'm messing up, you know. In terms of sound and everything, not in terms of painting. I like to make my mistakes when I'm painting. No, I don't like making mistakes when I'm painting. It's really frustrating, especially if you work with contrast paints at all. When you make a mistake, sometimes if you get like, if you're painting normally, you get a little bit of paint on, say, a tusk or something like that that's black, it's not supposed to be there. It's like a tiny bit. But with contrast paints, a lot of the time, because you're slapping them on, you've got a fair bit of paint on your brush, and if you just catch a tusk, like a lot of the paint rushes onto it. It's like, oh no! It's not too bad though, really. Just touching this very lightly rather, around there, because I don't want to get too much elsewhere. Let's come over this side. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. I feel like it's a little bit too orange with this, but hey, I will live and learn if I have to repaint this. Or I think I could just go over it with a glaze of red, like I said. Maybe with a glaze of the Blood Angels red, rather than the Flesh Terror red. Oh yeah, get a bit of the orange on them staples too, like they're rusting. I need a smaller dry brush than this, you know. Just want to do the cheeks and that, but I'll try to get it into position and then just drag it across. I feel like he's just looking like a big ginger lad now. Not that there's anything wrong with being a big ginger lad. Let's have a look. What do we reckon? I think he's looking alright, to be honest. You'll notice I've made a slight mistake on that tusk there. If the smiley faces weren't in the way in the chat. So there's a little bit of red on that tusk I'll have to address now. But yeah, I'm liking it overall. Again, I think in real life it's looking a bit, the orange is looking a bit more of a stark contrast, but when you look at it like that from above, you can see a sort of V of orange on his brow there. Like a V of orange, so maybe needs to take him back a little bit, that. I'm not entirely sure. But I know Mythos and Freak, they like to, when they're referring to painting miniatures and stuff, they go by one of Kenny Boucher's mottos of take it to 11 and then knock it back down a notch. So it could be worth it in the long run, taking it up. He's back. Should base Ragnar on that head. What? You absolute numpty. Ragnar would never kill a beast like this. The young pup. Yeah, Bard, in its mouth, exactly. That, you know what? I've got a Ragnar. I'm not getting round to converting it very quickly, am I? So maybe I should just shove Ragnar in its mouth. And that'll teach you, won't it? See, you little puny humie. just hanging out of his mouth, just his black mane hanging out of his mouth. Yeah, that'll teach you to come into this chat making ridiculous suggestions like that. Yeah. Anyway, what was I going to do after that? What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to share my thoughts on the old, what are they called? I was going to share my thoughts on the boxes, Christmas box sets. I was also tempted to try and start on my How Roll, but I think I'll leave that to next week now. So we can talk about the Christmas boxes for a good half hour or something like that. Maybe I'll go back to do a little bit of painting after I've touched on the Christmas boxes. The orange makes the teeth pop. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going in the right direction then by the sounds of it. Going to base coat my kill tank tomorrow. At last, been building it for a month now, and it's showing that you've spent that much time on it. I know it was driving you a little bit nuts, wasn't it? But it's showing that you've spent that time on it. It looks fantastic, mate. It really does. What does everybody need? I don't know. What does everybody need? Lol, does Gazgul need it? What Clanklin? Oh, for the tank, I assume. I think it looks great, not too bright. Bad Moon's Gar it's going to be. Excellent stuff. Right, so should I get rid of this feed altogether, or should I just put something over the top of it? I can't quite decide. Let's add one anyway. I want to do a screen share. Screen share. Oh no, I don't want to do it yet because... Right, what I want to do is get rid of this. No, I could just do it now, couldn't I? No, let me queue up. Right, I'll talk to you for a second while I queue up the screen I want to be sharing. Because I'm going to take a look at the Christmas boxes and then you can see them on screen and everything. So Warhammer Community is where I want to go. And that's where I'm going. Amazing. Fancy that, eh? Oh, what's going on Facebook? I've got 6 notifications. People must have been posting in certain groups and liking my posts and whatnot. I'm looking at Blood Bowl again, now. I've gone to Warhammer Community site. I'm looking at Blood Bowl and I'm like, oh, well, somehow it's just clicked on it for me as well. I didn't want to click on it. Thank you very much. I think you'll find I did not click that. Maybe it's listening to me and it's taking me to the site I don't want to go to. Right, so we've got the Crusade boxes for Warhammer 40k and we've got Master the Mortal Realms for Age of Sigmar. It's basically the Battle Force boxes that we see every year at Christmas. I'll look at the 40k ones first and share some thoughts. Wargamer Spud, like your photo in the Chilling Wargamers community group. Thank you very much, Spud. Big Mac Mel would be pretty miffed if it wasn't the moons. Yes, cool. Right, so now what I need to do is create a screen share. A screen share. I'll scratch my head first, and then I'll go, image, browser source. Ooh, browser source. That sounds like an interesting source to put on your chips. Display capture, that's what I want, isn't it? Display capture, is it primary or secondary monitor? I don't know. Add source, I'm sure it'll tell me. I'll just call it display capture. Add source. Oh, I've done the wrong one there. I need to do the other monitor, don't I? Display 2, there we go, done. Right, and now I need to have it underneath stuff. Above. Oh, look at that. Fancy that, eh? You can see me and everything. Right, so it's just above phone, that's perfect. So you can see me on the screen. Oh, I've gone a bit laggy, have I? I don't know. You can see me on the screen, and you can see this here. This here. All this stuff. The screen behind me. So, this is the 40k Battle Force boxes. We've got an interdiction force. Learning about how to speak or something with the Space Marines, an interdiction force. Do you get it? Learning about how to speak. Maybe they go out on crusades teaching orcs how to speak High Gothic rather than Low Gothic. And then we've got an Eradication Legion from the Necrons. That's the highest value set, I think you'll find. If you want a nice roundup of the value in each of these sets, go on over to Old Average Brick Gaming and check out his latest video, because he's done it there for you. You don't have to check it out. You don't have to add it up yourself. I think that was the highest value one anyway. Then we've got a Bastion Platoon. And then we've got Chaos Decimation Warband. They will reduce your forces by 1/10. Oh no! You have killed my grots. But I've got all my boys and flash gates and everything left. But you've killed my grots, one of my 10 units. Star Pulse Cadre for Tau. I feel like these Tau box sets, we get a Tau one every year for the past 3 years, I think. And I feel like these Tau box sets are almost the same every year, or very similar. You get some battle suits. And a few, maybe it's just because there's no differentiation in paint job or something, but I feel like they're all very similar every year, the Tau ones. Then we've got a Brood Swarm, and is that the last one? I think that's the last one. What I'd be most interested in, almost most interested in, is the Brood Swarm. Now, it's only because it's got a Haruspex in, and it's a model that I'd love to tackle at some point. However, is it a Haruspex? I think it is. However, it's got a load of Gene Stealers in. Now, there's so many other ways to get Gene Stealers. They've done Gene Stealers in box games and in Space Hulk, and there's, you know, they just put Gene Stealers in like starter boxes, not starter boxes, but, you know, like the campaign boxes they do all the time. They put the Gene Stealers in there, so I feel like they don't need to do that. I feel like they don't need to put any Gene Stealers in. I feel like it'd be better with Reavers or Ravagers, or are they Tyranid units? I think they are. Ravagers, Reavers, Termagants, Hormagants, those sorts of things, rather than Gene Stealers, because I genuinely feel like they just put Gene Stealers in too many things, GW. But I can understand why they might do it, because a Gene Stealer cult player can take units of Gene Stealers, I think, as well, can't they? So it means you've got two people who collect two different factions, two different groups of people, essentially, potentially buying this then. So I get it to a certain extent, but I feel like they just put Gene Stealers in too much. Oh yes, that looks like a nice drink now, that, a nice mango drink or something. Oh no, it's my paint water, don't drink that. Going back to the last one, the one before this. Yeah, the Tau one, I feel like the Tau ones every year are pretty similar. They always have crisis suits in them, I think. Maybe not. I've got one down there. A Rapid Insertion Cadre, which has a Ghost Keel and stealth suits, so that was slightly different. It had Ghost Keel, stealth suits. It had a Commander, which this has as well, and it had crisis suits. I guess to a certain extent the Tau ones are always going to look pretty similar, because they're always going to have some battle suits in them. So maybe it's just me. It didn't have any Pathfinders or Breachers or the other unit in it. So this is slightly different to the ones the last 2 years. And then the Space Marine one, it looks pretty good, to be fair. You're getting, I think they're probably mostly core units them as well, with the new core mechanic in 9th edition. I've not looked into it too heavily, in too much detail, but it looks like a decent collection, that. So you've got your Havocs, I want to say, your guys with your missile launchers, your heavy weapons team. You've got a squad of Terminators. You've got a squad or 2 combat squads of Marines, power armoured Chaos Marines there. You've got a Lord, and you've got like a heavy support unit, I'd guess that is, that big warp engine, whatever it is. So it's quite a nice little force, that well-rounded force, I feel like. Let's go back to the Tau one, see if I think that's a well-rounded force. Well, you've got some fast-moving units, a lot of fast-moving units. You've got like a heavy support unit. You've got a commander, a powerful commander as well. And then you've got 2 squads of troops. So yeah, it's probably quite a well-rounded force as well. I don't know how they all play in game. That's the thing. I've never been a competitive player, so I'm not sure how they all play in games. But right, so you've got in the Tyranid one, you've got like a bodyguard elite sort of unit for your leader, and and Swarm Lord, I think that is, isn't it? And then you've got 2 relatively fast-moving units of Gene Stealers, like troop-style units, and then the Gargoyles as well, which are fast-moving. And then you've got like a sort of heavy hitter in the Haruspecs. I feel like he's a heavy hitter, but he's a bit maybe slower. But I don't know for sure. I don't know rules for Tyranids much. Guard, you've got 2 squads of 10 guys by the looks of it. Troop choices, so they can, one of them at least can get in the Chimera and get across the battlefield quickly. The other one can hold a rear objective for you. You've got a platoon commander, maybe a command squad of some description that you can stick with your troops holding a rear objective and have them issue commands and whatnot. And then you've got a scout sentinel, or a sentinel or scout sentinel rather, which is pretty fast, no doubt. And then you've got some anti-air, which it's a Hydra. You can also build it as another type of tank, I think, like an artillery tank. Well, I might be wrong there, I'm not entirely sure. Is it a Hydra or a Manticore, or is it a Hydra or something else? Not sure. And then you've got some heavy weapon squads. So again, quite a well-rounded force there. You're getting a good variety of units that do different tasks. Here again, you're getting a plane, so you're getting a fast unit. You're getting a Canoptek Spider, is that? Does that repair things? I think it might do. Then you've got an elite unit in the Lich Guard, and you've got Immortals, heavy unit there. A Cryptek, again, repairs things, and he's quite fast him as well, I think, because of his Scarab Cloak thing. Then you've got Warriors and Scarabs, and you've got another fast unit, so it's quite fast, the Necron one by the looks of it. In the Triarch Stalker. Now that's a model actually that I'd be very interested in. To be fair, there's 2 or 3 models in this one that I'd be interested in. I'd like a Cryptek. I sold the one that I got when I bought Forgebane. Sold it on eBay. I'd like a Cryptek, and I'd like a Doomside and a Triarch Stalker if I was going to expand my Necron force, but I'm not really in the mood to expand it at the minute. You can always use more Warriors, because I've not even started building the models I've got yet, so this is no good for me at the minute. All these box sets, they've come at sort of the wrong time. We've got Murray Provan in the chat. Looks sweet, looks pretty similar to me. I don't know what you're referring to there. Maybe you're referring to me. Maybe I look pretty similar to you, perhaps. Welcome, Murray Provan. And we also, we've done the Necrons already, haven't we? So we've got the Space Marine Force, which people are saying isn't very good, because it's got Reavers in. So it's got a squad of 10 Reavers, which aren't very good at the minute because they've not got that core keyword in the... or have they? No, I think they have. The Invicta Warsuit hasn't, so that's what makes the Invicta Warsuit not as good as it used to be. The Reavers I don't think are as good as they were in the previous city. Or they haven't been good for a little while, Reavers now. I know Kaiser was saying that with Space Wolves, when you see they've got the Hounds of Morlock in the latest Space Wolf combat patrol box. I can't remember what they're called, patrol detachment boxes that they've started doing. However, the Hounds of Morlock have got some buffs that probably makes them slightly better than other factions' Reavers. But yeah, most people don't like Reavers, most Space Marine players, I understand. You've got the transport vehicle, which is pretty cool, and then you've got some more Phobos Marines, which are like the recon type ones. I can't remember the names of them, but it's more like a scouting force, that. So the rest of them, I feel like you're getting a variety of units, whereas these, you're getting kind of like almost like units with a similar battlefield role. However, if you're a Space Marine player, one thing I would say is you've probably got a lot of intercessors already. So putting all the Phobos armoured stuff in there gives you a bit of variety to your army. You don't have to buy these boxes, that's the thing. But they could have probably made it slightly more valuable for Space Marine players by putting units in that they'd be more likely to use. So there's all them, basically. Oh, I could have just come to these. This is what you're getting in each of the boxes. Yeah, so you're getting a lot of... it's almost like a scouting force, that, isn't it? This interdiction force. Yeah, the Necron one's looking very nice, I have to say. I really like that Dynasty colour scheme. There's a Zirican Dynasty or something like that. I really like that colour scheme, so that's why I bought a bottle of Rune Lord Brass. I don't splash out on GW paint all the time, spray paints, but yeah, I do, when there's one I do like to pick it up. They're looking nice, these forces, to be fair. I'm very much a collector, builder and painter rather than a gamer. So if I was heavily into one of these factions in any way at the moment, or if they released an Orc one, I'd still be looking at it. I'd be like, maybe I should get it. I could still be tempted to get something if I was heavily into any of these factions. And then there's the preview of the Blood Angels Combat Patrol Detachment, Combat Patrol set, yeah, which comes with this tank as well, this Primaris Transport Tank. So it comes with that, it comes with a squad of aggressors and a squad of infiltrators, I want to say, but they might not be called infiltrators, they might be called something else, and a librarian. Yeah, I won't be picking that up, but hey, there we go. I'm sure it comes with at least 2 sprues. No, actually, will it? Yeah, it looks like it comes with a sprue of Blood Angels upgrade. It looks like it comes with a Blood Angels upgrade sprue. Yes, they've got, because they've got, I didn't even notice that, to be fair. They've got a combat squad of intercessors and they've got a combat squad of the other guys here, the Phobos armoured guys at the bottom, and then they've got a squad of aggressors. So yeah, it looks like you get the Blood Angels upgrade sprue in there as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, I'd probably buy some of these if I didn't already have loads of models to build and paint, and probably most of the models that they'd put in the Orc box I've got already. So yeah, I'd be tempted myself. I reckon they're going to be 110 quid, between 110 and 120 probably. Let's look at the Age of Sigmar ones, shall we? Let's look at the chat before we go to those Age of Sigmar ones though. I'll have to scroll back through it. What's that? Oh, it's thingy. It's that other thing, Aeronautica. Right, I'll just quickly look at the chat though. Rivets and Deco agreeing with what I said earlier. With what Freak and Mythos like to say. Highlight to 11, wash down to 10. Going to base coat my kill tank tomorrow. I've read that already. The orange makes the teeth pop. Yep. Thank you very much. Oh, there's not been that much chat, to be fair. Prices, yeah, Bard prices. The prices aren't confirmed, I don't think. Although I did see something on Facebook. I don't want to say which company it was, but I looked at someone's Facebook post and it had £110 on one of them. I think it was the Necron one. Yeah, it was like when you were scrolling across, it was kind of like you can tag prices on Facebook if you're a shop, and they tagged, I think, the Necron one as £110. So I think the Necron one probably will be £110. I reckon they'll be between 100 and 120, probably between 110 and 120. I reckon, either or, because last year I think some were priced at 100 quid and some were 110 quid. So yeah, it'll be either or, won't it? I think. I'm thinking about loads of different clans being represented in my war. I like 3rd edition, only newer. Yeah, like 3rd edition, only newer. Yeah, that's the way I like to approach my war. Is mainly I want it to be Death Skulls, but I want other spatterings of other clans in squads of boys. In like a lot of the vehicles might be. Ooh, itchy. Might be. Oh no, I like the vehicles blue, to be honest. But yeah, there'll be spatterings of other clans in my war, because a war is made up of a load of clans drawn from like nearby star systems and stuff. So it makes sense to me to have different clans in your war. Although in the game, when you're playing, you only really want to use one clan. So you just got to let your opponent know which clan traits and stuff you want to use. I don't play competitively or anything, but that's my understanding of it. Sounds good, Gar, says Essex Boys. Looks pretty similar to me, says Murray Proven. I don't know if you're talking about me or if you're talking about something else in the chat, something going off, I'm not too sure. Like the look of the Chaos box, says Essex Boys. Yeah, it's a nice looking box, to be fair. The new sculpts of Chaos Marines and Chaos Terminators and stuff, they're all solid sculpts. Then you've got the Havocs as well. The thing about the Chaos box is, almost all of it is new stuff, like come out in the last 18 months or something. So you're doing well if you're into chaos and you want to buy the chaos box. I'd say you're doing well anyway. The only thing is, there's no specific box for any other chaos faction like Death Guard or Thousand Suns. Depending on what comes out at Xmas, I was just going to start collecting free Armies Dwarf box. Not sure, I might get some Sons of Thor bits and more bikes. Not sure. The Caradron Overlords box, yeah. I'll have a look at that one in a second. Looks alright because it's got flying ships. Well, that's it, innit? Like, if you want flying ships, it's perfect for you. I've seen someone on Instagram, I can't remember the name, but I'll try and get it for you for the next hobby hangout or next video I do, or try and give them a shout out in a future video. Someone convert the Caradron Overlord ships and the crewed by Grots goblins, and they've got squigs instead of those big brass balloons that they have on top of them, big brass tanks. They look fantastic, really do. We hates them tinheads. See, I got Shadow Spear. I'd be good Ragnar build army, but whoa, says Marcos Castellanos joining us once again. Only 8 minutes till the end of the stream. You've come in with in the very last minute with a late whoa. So it's good to see you joining us again. Glad you're looking at these boxes today. Well, I've just looked at all the 40k ones, so I'll only be looking at the Sigmar ones now. You'll have to watch the stream back if you want to see my thoughts on the 40k ones. Basically, my thoughts were, most of them are pretty good because you're getting a nice mix of units, so you're getting quite a well-rounded force from most of them. I'm not, like I just said a second ago, I'm not like a massive competitive gamer, so I'm not the person to be asking about it really. But I thought I'd take a look at them anyway and just share my general gut feeling about them. So yeah, the only one that I think is a bit of a, especially the people that collect that faction will feel it's a bit of a letdown, is the Space Marine one, because most people don't use Reavers, and I feel like they don't use the other infiltration boys, and the Invicta Warsuit isn't as good as it was in the last edition. So your only good thing about it is that transport tank, which I don't even know if people use. But yeah, there's my quick roundup of my thoughts on those boxes. Age of Sigmar Battle Forces. Let me get some more water because that was barely any. I basically had finished it before I opened that. And then I'll start on these Age of Sigmar ones. You can see it at the top of a couple of boxes there, just being teased. Look at these. So we've got the Ogre Moor tribes, and we've got Disciples of Zeech, and we've got the Caradron Overlords and the Gloom Spikers. Let's take a look at the, you know what, I made that mistake last time of going through those pictures. Let's go to these pictures. So this gives you a really clear view of what's in these. Do I click that? No, there's no need to really. I mean, I could do because it sort of fades out the background for you. So we've got a load of things in this. I've always had an idea and an urge to get a couple of these units of human Zeech worshippers. Can't remember the name of them. I'm sure it'll tell me in the article actually, so let's just go back. Zeech giving expand lead, Lord of Change, Gaunt Summoner, enemies, Kerrick Acolytes. So these Kerrick Acolytes, I've always had an idea, an urge, an inkling to get some of these and convert them into Spire Guard for 30k Thousand Suns. Basically a guard unit for 30k Thousand Suns. So this box tempts me because that Lord of Change as well, that's a model I'd like to tackle in the future. So it's another reason to get it. And then there's the Zangors, which they're alright, the Zangors, but I wouldn't really necessarily have a use for them unless I wanted to do, which I do at some point in the future, a Traitor Guard or a Dark Mechanicum Force or something like that. I could potentially work them into that somehow. So this is a box for me that holds a little bit of appeal. My Chaos God of choice, well, to be fair, I've got a Death Guard force, so you could say it's Nurgle, but my initial Chaos God of choice would be Zeech. But yeah, like I said, I do have a Death Guard force. It's a model I'd love to tackle the Lord of Change at some point in the future, like I said, so it's tempting, this box. Depending on price, I imagine it's 110 quid. I could be tempted by it. Because these Kerry Acolytes, I imagine you can use in Warcry and stuff like that as well. I don't know for sure, but I would have hoped you can. Oshi, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And Keris Brown, thank you very much for joining me. I think I'm going to get the Gloom Spite, says Keris Brown. Excellent stuff. KB. The absence of an Orc Crimbo box suggests that there might be something in the pipeline for the boys. Yeah, that's a suggestion I've heard from other quarters. You know what? I'm just looking at my feed here. This is looking awfully colour coordinated. This shirt goes with the gradient on the overlay there, and then the Zeech thing has sort of similar colours in it, blues, purples, greens, stuff like that. It's all very colour coordinated at the minute. I think I'll just stay here. I won't look at any of the other boxes. Right. So go back to Marcos. Glad you're looking at these. Rivers and Daka. Whoa! Bigfoot Hobbies. Whoa! Hey Essex boys, says Marcos. I think I'm going to get the Gloom Spite, says Keris. The absence of Orc Crimbo box suggesting there's something in the pipeline. How do? Ayoposhi, says Rivets. Lord of Change is on my top list to paint. Yeah, it is a fantastic model. And like I said, at some point in the future, I'd like to tackle one. But I think it's probably a long way in the future for me, because I'd want to make it look as close to that as possible. And it's like, I don't think I'm there yet, quite frankly. And the model's going to be around for years, you'd have thought, anyway. Like, now and again, GW ditch a model. And it's like, what? Why? That's only been out 2 years, 3 years. But it's probably been out about 4 years, that model now. 5 years, maybe. But yeah, it's one I'd definitely like to paint. Yeah, I feel that way. Anything without a box is stuff that's needing minis and has a book and some new sculpted units that have come out. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully the lack of an Orc box does mean we might be getting something Orky in the not too distant future in the new year. It's Let's Make It Orky, says Keris. Fantastic stuff. Welcome to the stream. I knew it was you, by the way, because you've got your name on your Instagram as well. Blood of the Phoenix, that's Speed Freaks box, and Gaskell. Cool. Right, Caradron Overlords, Battle Force, Barak Nar, Starfleet. Skyfleet, not Starfleet. So, in comparison, you look at that. How many miniatures are you getting in that? So in the Disciples of Siege, in the Disciples of Siege box, you get 35 miniatures. Then you go to Caradron Overlords and you get in 10. It's like, what? Are they, the Caradron Overlords, are they very much, I don't think they are, but are they like almost like the Custodes of Age of Sigmar? I mean, they're pretty, they've got, the thing is, they've got a lot of shooting attacks, haven't they, the Caradron Overlords, so they might very well be. And they've got this hefty armour as well, and these fast units that float around the battlefield. So they might very well be like the custodians of Age of Sigmar, but yeah, they don't strike me as that initially, but when you think about it, they might be the equivalent. So yeah, you only get 10 miniatures there. Like I was saying, I can't remember who it is on Instagram, but someone's converted up these Caradron Overlord minis to goblins, and they look absolutely fantastic. So I'd love to do something like that in the future, but it's just, I've got too many projects on the go already. I don't know. I can't really comment on how these fit into Age of Sigmar, if they're any good. I mean, I can make a quick guess. These guys are on disc, so I'm guessing they're fast. He's fast. These guys, I'm guessing, they bulk out your army, don't they? So you always need bodies in Age of Sigmar, I know that much. And then these guys are a slightly more elite version of the Kerry Acolytes. And then you've got a Gaunt Summoner, so you've got a lot of magic going off there. It seems like quite a well-rounded force. That's all I'm going to say about all of these boxes, the same as I just did for the Age of Sigmar ones. This looks like a fast force rather than a well-rounded force. So this one potentially could be the Space Marine equivalent in Age of Sigmar. So the Space Marine Indiction force, this could be the equivalent in Age of Sigmar, because it's just like it's doing one job. But I think Caradron Overlords are quite fast anyway. Don't know for sure though. And then we've got the Ogre Moor Tribes Battle Force Meat Grinder Warglut, which looks, they're just big boy ogres, aren't they? I do like ogres. I like the Gargants, but I'd rather have a Mega Gargant than this Gargant, to be honest. It looks puny next to the Mega Gargant, but the Mega Gargant is so pricey they'd never put it in one of these boxes unless they put this in and a couple of Snotlings type things. What do they call them when they're in the ogres? They're not called Snotlings, are they? I can't remember. Yeah, so there's some shooting in there. There's some hefty boys with hefty swords. Looks like there's a commander at the bottom there. Is there any wizard type unit? It doesn't look like it. And then there's a big cannon unit. It's just a big strong force. That if I was going to collect a faction, it'd be a Grand Alliance faction in Age of Sigmar, and I think it'd be Destruction. So this would be really good for me if I did want to seriously get into Age of Sigmar. So yeah, it's it's a beauty, but I'm not getting it. Let's go down to the last one, shall we? We've got the Gloomspite Gitz ones. Oh, it's not Gloomspite Gitz, is it? Oh, it is Gloomspite Gitz Battle Force Fungal Loon Horde. The trolls look fantastic. They didn't appeal to me in the past, the trolls. I don't know why, but I'm coming around to them more and more. Pardon me. And then the Squig Hoppers are fantastic. I've seen someone use these Squig Hoppers in 40k before, by putting backpacks on them and using them as Storm Boys, and I think that, you know, that tracks for me, because you can just give them a gun in the free hand, and the attacks that would normally come from a boy could come from the Squig. So plausibly, it's quite plausible in my opinion that they could have the same amount of attacks as a Storm Boy. They could have the same strength attacks as a Storm Boy, because it's basically the Squig's jaws replacing the Storm Boy attacking them. So I really like that idea of a conversion, but I've already got some Squig Hoppers from one of the Age of Sigmar campaign boxes that was released. It was Sylvaneth versus Gloomspite Gitz. So I might be doing that conversion myself in the future, but again, that's a long way off. You got 6 trolls and 1 big boy troll with a big hammer. Looks pretty cool to me. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about Age of Sigmar, but it looks pretty cool to me, that one. And the thing is, if I was going to collect one Grand Alliance, like I said, it'd be Destruction. So this would be a time for me to get into Age of Sigmar, because I could buy that one, and I could buy that one, and it's going to be, what, 200 quid if I get it from third parties, and then I've got like a decent sized Destruction force there. But hey, I'm not going to be doing that at any point in the future. Let's check in with the chat again. Do I? I'm an idiot. Yes, you are an idiot. Yeah, if you wanted to keep it a secret, you are an idiot. I noticed on your stream the other night, with your dual stream with Nerd 404. It is Nerd error 404 Nerd 4. I can't remember. I'll have to check on Instagram. I'm sure you can put it in the chat. Yeah, you he mentioned he didn't want to say your real name, but then yeah. So so that's why I didn't say your username rather than just your actual name that you were using in the chat now. Anyway, big silly metal ships, lol, love it. Yeah, the Caradron Overlord ships, I think they're kind of cool. If you get the biggest one, you could convert that into like a truck or something, couldn't you, and put a load of flash kits in it to make it look like a pirate ship. Some people don't like when third-party companies, for example, lean into that pirate ship feel and the whole pirate aesthetic, but I do kind of like that, to be honest. But yeah, let's have a quick show of what the Gnawzilla's looking like. Oh, it's 9:05. I've gone late. Yeah, let's have one final show of how the Gnawzilla's looking. Nerd 404 UK, thank you very much, Keris. We'll check out after this. Down Boy. It's actually crazy they have so little models in the box. Yeah, the Caradon Overlord box is absolutely mental, isn't it? The trolls are so much fun to paint. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if I was going to get any of these boxes, I think I'd lean towards this one probably. Especially when you look at the fades and the shading they've done on the big troll there. It's like it's almost like they've just used contrast paints and just made it super. I want to say super even, but it's not even because it's darker in certain areas and that. But they've just used like a series of glazes on that one, by the looks of it to me. Although I'm no expert painter. But it looks it's what's weird about this. I'm looking at my feed here and I'm looking over to the other side, so I feel like I need to put my camera back on that side so it looks like I'm looking in the right direction. That's going to annoy me now. But yeah, it looks they do look fun to paint, the trolls. Something a bit different from orcs as well, not super different, still in the ballpark, but. And I've seen people as well, I think I've seen people convert trolls into massive goblins as well, which I kind of like the idea of. I never even noticed. You absolute silly sausage. Right, what am I doing here? I want to get rid of this display capture. Go back to the phone. Put the phone above there. Boom! Look at that. So I'm showing you my squig off before I get going. There's a bit of a lag here, not super laggy. But yeah, oh my god, his leg's falling off. Right, so he's looking a bit more orangey now. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. What a numpty. Right, here we go. You'd think I'd be able to work this out. So, he's looking a bit more orangey now around his skin. I've done a dry brush of, first off, it was Wild Rider Red. And then over that, I've gone in with Rise of Rust. And he looks like a bright orangey sort of colour now. Did I do any on the face? I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Let's have a look at the face and then you can see that separate. Let's bring it close to the camera. Oh, yes. Oh, he's looking right scary, isn't he? I've completely gone the wrong way there, though. Oh, pull it back, pull it back. There we go. Hey! And the chat's in the way. Let's go that way. No, let's go this way. What a numpty. Here we go. Right, that's in a decent location, isn't it? So if I turn it down slightly, you'll see the orange a bit more in sort of a V formation on his brow and going towards his nose there. No, that's the wrong way. There we go. So you can see that now. You can see a bit more of an orange highlight there. And then flipping it round to the other side, you'll see some orangeness here. There we go. You see, it looks a bit more subtle on that side for some reason. And then I'll turn round to the tail, get a good idea. You can see his rear end, and then we'll flip him over for a tummy tickle like I normally do. Thank you very much. Oh, I can't get my head around this orientation. Flip him over onto his back, give him a little tummy tickle, and then we'll end the stream there, I suppose. Yeah, it's been a good stream. Thanks to everyone who's joined me. Make sure, if you've not already done so, you drop a like on this video. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. That'll be fan-flipping-tastic. I'm just looking at my screen now, and I've got the old video up there. It's looking amazing. Yeah, thanks very much. I'm really enjoying painting him, to be fair. So it's not like it's particularly a chore or anything to paint this miniature. I think the only problem is with me enjoying painting it, I feel like I'm just going to take too long to paint it. I kind of want to get him done and get him on the battlefield. But like I said, I'm not far off with the Howdor and that. So it's going to be in the not too distant future that I get the Howdor. I ordered another webcam today, so this whole lagging situation with this second webcam. Wait, let me point at it. This lagging situation. There we go. You'll see how the lag is there. It's about 2 seconds behind this camera because it's just my phone set up on a local area network. So I ordered another webcam today, and I'm hoping. Good night, Mostly Zen. Thanks for joining us. Later, the Bard. Thanks for joining us. I'm hoping it'll be arriving by next week's stream. Fingers crossed. But yeah, there we go. We'll see. Right, like I said earlier, great stream and chat, everyone. Thank you all. Take care. Catch you soon. Thanks, Rivets. I'll get a drink of water because I've lost my water. I'll get a drink of water Just lag, lol. No lag. Yeah, because I want to round the stream up. If you've not really liked the video, make sure you like it. I've had 13 likes and there's only 11 viewers, so I'm guessing you've all liked it. Morning, Brack. You're joining us just as I'm rounding up the video. I'll give you a quick little show of this. Brack, for those who don't know, is in Australia, so that's why he's saying good morning like a lunatic when it's actually just gone 9 at night here. Yeah, so that's where I'm up to on the Gnawzilla, mate. It's I'm really enjoying painting it. I was just saying as I was rounding up the stream there. So I've done a Wild Rider Red and a Rise of Rust dry brush on it. It looks a little bit orangey in places, I feel like, but I kind of like it. I kind of like where it's going. It's taking it away from any red that's still left on top. It's taking it away from that. That's what I wanted to do, really. Next stream, hopefully I'll be working on the Howdor if I don't do it before then. I could do it on Sunday morning stream, actually, because I'll be doing a stream this Sunday morning, probably. Thanks very much for joining me, everyone. And don't forget, if you've not already checked out my socials, first of all, check out Let's Make It Orky on Instagram. And then check out Big Mac Damskull on Instagram. You can do that. There's links to mine in the description below. There's my Instagram and my Facebook page, both linked there. There's also my Patreon. If you want to help to support the channel, you can do so. Pledge at 3 different levels. I think there's a $1 level, a $5 level, and a $12 level to sponsor a shirt, in a snazzy shirt in a future live stream. Or if you want to, you can also send a super chat donation like Rivets did tonight, and I was, as soon as the stream started, I got a £20 donation to sponsor a shirt. I was absolutely blown away. So thanks again for that, Rivets. I know you've oh no, you're still there by the looks of it. Yeah, so thanks again for that. I was blown away. Night all, cheers, Dan says Essex boys. He's looking sweet. Thanks very much, Brack. Great stream. See you all next time, says Bigfoot. You're all wrapping up quicker than I am. Unbelievable. Unbelievable treatment. You're all leaving before I've even finished the show. God. I don't want you coming back next time now. Only joking, of course. You're just all better at wrapping up than I am. Right, I'm going to wrap up properly now. So, don't forget, you can check out all my socials if you want. Support the channel on Patreon. It's all in the description below. Thanks very much for watching, guys.